Hi, my name is Max Guernsey, and today I want to talk to you about managing merge costs. How often do you merge to master, or whatever it is you call your main line of code? Once per iteration? Once every week? Once every time you finish a story? Maybe once a day? Maybe you do it every time you make a change. Why wouldn't you do it every time you make a change? Most people argue against frequent merges by saying there's a high cost to a merge. Let's examine the actual sources of cost. One source of cost is overhead. There probably really is some sort of constant cost that doesn't go up when a merge gets larger and doesn't go down when a merge gets smaller. Things like sending emails, getting code reviews, writing check-in notes, that sort of thing. But there's also a linear component. The larger your check-in, the more changes it has, and the more changes you have, the more work you have to do to resolve any conflict. Each new touch point you add in a change has the potential to add more than one relationship. So the verification cost of a large change is far greater than the verification cost of a smaller change. Delays have an effect too. The longer you wait to make a merge, the more your main line of code has diverged, and that cost grows in a non-linear way. In fact, I think I'm being quite charitable by portraying it as quadratic here. So we have a cost curve that looks something like this. This makes us wonder, what if we just check in twice as often? Maybe things will get better. And in fact, they do, because you stop paying that non-linear cost, and you start again at the beginning of the curve, resulting in quite a bit of savings. And some people say, well, that might be fine. Going from once a month to once a week is probably good, but there's some point that's quote-unquote too many merges. Let's examine that. Let's say we take this cost curve and we want to chop it up into 5 little pieces. This gives us kind of a stair-step effect. We pay the first part of the cost curve, and then we start over. What people who are advocating against really fast merges tend to focus on is this little bump here. They say, well, look at that. The constant part of the merge cost has pushed us up over the cost curve. It's a temporary effect, but it's something that's easy to latch onto. Is that really the biggest problem? That little bump that comes and goes? There's an optimization rule of thumb when you're tuning the performance of software that I think can also apply to tuning the performance of yourself as a developer. Focus on the effects that grow the fastest. If you have one part of a problem that has a constant cost, and one part of the problem that has a linear cost, and one part of the problem that has a worse than linear kind of cost, focus on the non-linear stuff first. This leads one to a simple rule about merging. Always try to merge a little faster. If you're merging once a month, merge twice a month. If you're merging once per story, try to merge twice per story. If you're merging once a day, try to merge once in the morning and once in the afternoon. At some point, it really is possible that you'll be merging too much, and the overhead will start to cost you something. When this happens, there's a solution, and we can optimize for the overhead too. But right now, if you're not merging multiple times a day, the overhead from a merge is not going to be your source of cost. Thank you. Goodbye.